going to film a full day of eating for you guys. It's been a couple of weeks, I think, since I filmed a full day of eating. I have changed my macros pretty significantly over the past 3 weeks, and I've been following this new set of macros. And I wanted to show you what that looks like for me. What I can tell you is it's a lot of protein. It's like a moderate healthy fats and low carb. And it's going really, really well. And it's going really, really well so far. But it may be a little different than what you're used to in terms of seeing keto foods and keto eating. So I wanted to show you guys what that looks like for me. So I'll take you through a whole day. I just finished working out. It's like 1:30 p.m. I am still practicing intermittent fasting, but I'm kind of shrinking the fasting window. I used to do like 18 to 20 hours. Really difficult to get in that much protein in that short of a window. So I lengthened my window and I'm doing an 8-hour eating window. So I'm fasting about 16 hours, but if it's less than that, I'm not too concerned about it. So it's about 1:30 or 2 o'clock. So I will definitely give you my exact macros at the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And just to point out, with these particular macros, I am still in a really good solid state of ketosis most of the time. I have found that my body actually tolerates a pretty good amount of carbohydrates, but I play with those numbers a little bit depending on how I'm feeling. And I'm really starting to see, and it's now 3 weeks now, I'm starting to see the results. I definitely feel the difference in the increased protein, but now I'm starting to see it in my body composition change, which is really exciting. So anyways, yeah, so let's get started and see what one of these days looks like. So meal one is 1 whole egg. It's a whole free range, you know, organic, all that good stuff. And 1 1/4 cup of liquid egg whites. These are cage-free liquid egg whites from Sprouts. And looks like I'm going to need my other one, which I have in the fridge. I'll tell you what, it is a lot of food. It feels like a lot of food. I feel extremely satisfied. And it's good too. So now I'm just gonna whisk this up because it does have the whole egg in there. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with whole eggs. They're actually very nutritious, they're excellent. But for the amount of protein that I need to get in with the amount of calories I have, I can't go multiple whole eggs and reach my protein goal. Does that make sense? Because I'll hit the calories and I won't have enough protein. So that is why I do the additional whites. Also, I just prefer whites, but whole eggs are, you know, they're very good for you. So I'm not saying they're not. So I've just got about a cup of spinach in here and some mushrooms, and I will just pour this in here. And then in here, I'll just mix this up. Let me grab a spoon. I'm gonna mix this up and I'm gonna season this. So let me heat up the pan. A little bit of olive oil, just a tad. It's a non-stick pan, so I don't need very much. So for seasoning, I'm gonna go with organic onion salt, organic garlic salt. These are both from Redmond Real Salt. I love their spices and seasonings, super good quality. You know, you have to be careful with seasonings sometimes. There's a lot of junk in them, especially the blends. So you have to be really cautious with those. And then I'm also gonna do pink salt. With seasonings, I don't measure them. I'm pretty liberal with veggies too. I don't really, it's not super critical. But I do track veggies. I just don't track seasonings. is the finished product. It's an entire plate full of eggs, basically. And then I just put a little bit of Cholula on it. It's very filling and it's really good. Okay guys, really quick, it's kind of off topic, but I wanted to show you guys these new leggings I got from Fabletics. And I just finally decided to try Fabletics. I don't know how, I must have seen a post about it or whatever. The whole 2 for $24 thing caught my eye. And I had always assumed that because they were 2 for $24 that they were gonna be cheap leggings. And I actually went to a Fabletics store in Hawaii and I was shocked at what good quality the leggings actually were. And they're, you know, right up there with Lululemon, and they're not cheap. They're like $80 each. They're about 25% cheaper than Lululemon. But if you become a VIP, you get all these discounts, and your first order is only $24 and it's for 2 leggings. So I picked 2 styles that I absolutely love. And the Pure Luxe is the one I'm wearing right now, the Pure Luxe 7/8. And they have pockets. I love it because I can throw my phone in here when I'm at the gym. And just the seams and detailing on these and the feel of them, it's like, they're like a medium control, but they're really, really soft. I'm just obsessed. Like, I need several pairs of black just like this. So I'm not exactly sure how long I'll keep the membership. It's $49.95 a month. You don't have to buy stuff every month, but basically your credit will build up if you don't buy, so it'll forward on to the next and the next month, and then you can make a purchase, and then you get a big discount off of the retail price. So the retail on these was $75. So I'm not exactly sure what they would have been with like a VIP discount, but to me, I thought it was worth it, because even if you want to buy the 2 leggings for $24 and then cancel your membership, you're not obligated to keep your membership. But I'm going to keep it for a while, because for as much as I wore workout clothes and as much as I love the quality of these, I definitely want to get some more stuff. So now that I've had my first meal, I am going to have my day pack from Onnit Total Human. And then I will save my night pack for my last meal of the night, or my last snack, which I typically do about 8 o'clock or so. But I'm gonna take my day support. So it's got my krill, my electrolytes, spirulina, chlorella, like all of my essential minerals to really just optimize my body. I have been taking Onnit Total Human for a year or more, and honestly, love these supplements. Typically, I only take digestive enzymes on a cheat day or when I'm having a cheat meal. But with the increased protein consumption, I find that in order just to keep everything running smoothly, that this has really helped. So I actually take it every single day. So with meal 1, I'll take 2, and I'll take every single day, I'll take 2 of these, and I take them with my first meal of the day. Just helps to make sure I'm digesting all of that protein and not getting backed up. Okay, you guys, so let's talk about a few clarifications I want to make between tracking macros, meal prep, and meal planning, or following a meal plan. The best thing for you to do in terms of success, if you have specific goals, you're not just kind of going about your business, happy with where you are, but you have specific goals in terms of your body and your body composition that you want to obtain. So if you have specific goals, then you're going to want to meal plan. So what meal planning means is you know your specific macronutrient target. So you have your macros, but you take those macros and you plan exactly what you're going to eat ahead of time that will fit your macros. And basically that's following a meal plan. You can either do this yourself, or you can have a professional do it for you. I have plenty of clients that I plan out meals for. The reason for that, of having to hire someone, initially it's helpful for one thing, is to make sure that you are following the right macronutrients. For 2, because it's pretty difficult sometimes to get the right kinds of foods to exactly match what your macros should be. Because if you get the balance off, you might maybe hit your calories, but be way under on your protein, and you're not going to hit your protein goal for that day, which is really, really important. Or you may be over on carbs too early in the day, so it's really important if you have specific goals. Hold on. Charles wants in on this action. How cute. Look at his sweater, by the way. It's so cute, right? So if you have specific goals, it's best to follow a meal plan. Again, you could get one done for you, or you can put together your own. Obviously, that's my specialty, so I make my own meal plans, but that's what I do. I don't just track macros. Let me explain the difference. If you're tracking macros, you're using like an app like MyFitnessPal, which is perfectly fine to plan your meals. But if you're using it to track macros, as you go about your day, you're logging what you eat, and then everything kind of falls into place. But what if things are off? What if you're like at dinner time and you're like, oh my gosh, I ate, I'm already at 1,200 calories. I only have 200 calories left for the day, but I'm 50 grams under on protein. That's going to be difficult, and you're going to run into that a lot. It can be difficult to kind of get those things to match up if you are following a very specific goal-oriented set of macros. So if you are, then I recommend either purchasing a meal plan or taking time yourself to put together your own meal plan at least a couple of days in advance, at least one day in advance for the next day, so that you already know everything that you're going to eat the next day, and you know that it exactly fits your macros. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to stress at the end of the day if you're completely off, you're not going to hit your protein goal, or you ate too much fat, or whatever it may be. It takes that off the table. So if you're tracking macros, you could run into that. Tracking macros is actually something I recommend you do once you hit your goals, or when you're at a point where you don't have really specific goals, but you kind of want to just maintain the status quo, maintenance. You can track food as you go, and you'll get really good at it, and you'll get better at it as you go. But while you are trying to reach specific goals, it's imperative that you meal plan ahead of time and follow your meal plan. Now, meal prep is an additional layer on top of that. So I can meal plan without meal prepping. So I can know exactly what I'm going to eat every day, but I don't necessarily have to make it all ahead of time. Again, that would be ideal. If you start your week and you have all your meals prepped according to your meal plan, according to the right macros, like, you are golden. You take off some of those layers and it just leaves some more areas for slip ups or not getting your macros right or whatever. I'll tell you honestly what I do. I have been at this a long time, so I'm really comfortable with preparing meal plans. Obviously, that's what I do for clients, but I'm comfortable with tracking macros. I'm comfortable with all of it. However, what works best for me when I am trying to reach specific goals and make some significant body composition changes is to plan out my meals ahead of time. But because I work from home, I don't do a lot of exact meal prep. I kind of loosely meal prep. What I mean by that is I'll create my meal plan at the beginning of the week, and I'll decide, okay, this week I am going to eat chicken all week and I'm going to eat salmon. So then what I will do at the beginning of the week is I will prepare the proteins. So the proteins will be ready to go, and then it won't all be pre-packaged exactly. As I feed myself, I'll have to measure it out and make sure it's the right portion and so on and so forth. But I don't actually meal prep just because I work from home. I'm 10 feet away from my kitchen, so I don't have to do that. But if you are somebody who works out of your home, you work full time, I highly recommend meal prepping at least 2 times per week. It might be not realistic to plan an entire week, like on one day, to plan or to cook all of that food, but you could definitely try to set aside time at least 2 times a week to meal prep. So again, if you follow those 3 steps, you have your set of macros that you know are what's going to work for you, because you either know your body or you have worked with a professional to get the right macros that are going to help you reach your goals. That's number 1. Number 2, you are following a meal plan or creating your own meal plan each week. That's number 2. Number 3 is prepping. You are prepping all the food that is in your meal plan. If you at least do 1 and 2, you're good. If you do all 3, you are golden. You are on the fast, rapid track to reaching all of your goals. If you stick to your plan of action, it actually doesn't take that long. It's when you kind of let things be loose and you kind of do things and you don't follow things 100%, that's going to add time on things. So it's really up to you and how quickly you want to reach those goals. My mindset is when I have certain goals in mind, I want to reach them really fast because I want to get back to my lackadaisical approach. Because once I'm in a maintaining mode, you have a lot more flexibility, and getting really comfortable with tracking your macros gives you so much flexibility to maintain. That's how I've been able to maintain my weight loss for years. I found fitness and health and wellness in 2013, and I've never fallen off since then because I am either working towards some specific goals where I'm being super strict and tracking everything and meal planning, all of that. But when I'm not doing that, I'm simply tracking macros and loosely tracking sometimes. I'm not tracking individual macronutrients, but I am tracking my calories. That's something I always do, even if it's in my head. Always do that because that is what keeps me from gaining weight. That is what keeps me, allows me to have some flexibility because I know I have room in there to have a treat if I want one, incorporate my cheat days, all of that fun stuff. So I'll get off my soapbox for now, but if you have goals, you gotta be doing those 3 things, at least 1 and 2, ideally 3. I'm gonna get back to work. We'll see what I eat next. Stay tuned. All right, guys, now I'm having this drink, and this is just something that I make with collagen and electrolytes and a beet powder that I have just for like just health and wellness. It's kind of like my healthy concoction. I still try to get collagen in every day. I'll either put it into something like this or I will put it in my coffee because collagen is essential for like your hair, skin, nails, connective tissue and things like that. So collagen is really good for you. So I'm not just focused on whey protein for muscle building, definitely also focused on getting at least 1 serving of collagen in a day. All right, guys, so it is time to eat again. And as I was saying about meal prep, is I already have a protein made. So I'm going to, my next meal is shredded chicken and some broccoli. So all I have to do is measure this out. So I highly recommend that you invest in a food scale. It's not that much. They're like 10, 12 bucks on Amazon. I will link this one down below. Now I am measuring out my broccoli. I'm actually going to have my broccoli raw. It's actually more nutrient dense if you have it raw. So oftentimes I will eat my veggies totally raw. This is heating up, so we mix that around. I like to just like crisp up the chicken. And my dog is crying, sorry. But also, broccoli is an excellent treat for your dog. So my dogs are keto, and he is sitting right here waiting for... I just gave him some broccoli. He loves broccoli. That's what they get as treats in this house. They think it's a treat. Here you go, come here. Come here, say hi. Oh, there he is. Broccoli for you. Say hi to the camera. No, that's Mom's. Can't have that. Okay, you want one more piece? You want one more piece? Sorry, my other dog is crying in the background, so. There you go. Okay, off. Off. Good boy. So I am just going to heat up the chicken, and I wanted to show you guys this dip that I have been getting from Sprouts. It's an almond dip and it's jalapeno lime flavor. And I will get 1 tablespoon of this. It's in my meal plan, and I'll actually dip my broccoli in the almond dip. So check this out if you have a Sprouts near you. It's really good, organic, really good stats, and I've really been enjoying it. Shredded chicken with the raw broccoli and a tablespoon of the almond dip for healthy fats. All right, you guys, so now I'm going to have a snack, and I have been eating these bars lately. I always allow myself 1 bar per day in my meal plan, so I try not to go too crazy on them, but I do love these. These are from Built Bar. They originally had sent me a box to try, and I tried them and loved them. So ever since, I've been buying my own boxes, and they did give me a code, so I'll give it to you guys. It's 15% off if you use my code, but they're just different. They're like a soft center. They're not chalky like typical protein bars. And it's the stats that I love. It's only 110 calories, 15 grams of protein. So, sorry, that's a little glary, but all kinds of different flavors. This is a mocha cream, but my favorite is like banana, the vanilla, the coconut. Honestly, they're all good so far, but I'm going to show you what this looks like, the texture, because it's really different than your typical protein bar, which is, I think, why I like it. So this is the bar. It's not that big, so it's probably like equivalent to 2 snack bars, like Halloween-sized snack bars, the equivalent to 2 of them. So it's coated in chocolate. And see that soft center? It's soft and chewy. Sorry, it's really bouncy in this car, but that's why I love it. So if you haven't heard of these, you really should try them. I'll link them down below because it's something that I've been hooked on. All right, guys, back in the kitchen for another meal. I told you guys it's a lot of food. It definitely feels like a lot of food, but my macros are not that much, and I'll show you guys in a second. But I'm going to do Quest chips because I love that they have 20 grams of protein. It's a nice treat, and they're good. So I'm going to do Quest chips. And like I said, I always have proteins kind of ready to go, so I'm just heating up my turkey burger. So here is the turkey burger. Just warming it up. So here we've got 6 ounces of ground turkey, the Quest chips, and 2 tablespoons of this Green Goddess salad dressing as a dipping sauce. All right, so last meal of the day is going to be Dannon 2 Good yogurt with some berries. And like I said before, I have everything like prepped and ready to go in my fridge. I just have to measure everything out. So I already had berries washed and ready to go, and I have just been doing everything by grams lately. And so I am going to do, I wanted to do about 20 grams of berries, but 22 is fine. It's crumbled up just a little bit of this Stoka bar, vanilla almond Stoka bar, and 14 grams is what I went with. And so that concludes today. So I will put my macros up right here for you guys to see. It's actually quite a bit of food, a lot of protein, and that's what my days have been looking like lately.